Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate.
What's up, guys? This is Till You Collapse podcast. I am Brian. I'm your host, and we're back. It's been a little while since we recorded an episode. How long has it been? 3 weeks? I think about three.
About almost 3, yeah.
About 3 weeks. So we're back. We aim for once a week, but life happens, guys. Like I said, this podcast is extra on top of everything we do. And, things have been going good. How you doing, Memo?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing right, baby. I'm doing right. This guy, Memo, he's been getting in front of the camera. Talk about that a little bit.
That was not a New Year's resolution, but more of a next step after New Year's in a sense, to just promote myself in a different way. Because nowadays, as a photographer, you're not represented just by your artwork anymore. In order to get out there more, your art can't speak for itself. You have to speak for your art. So that's what I'm trying to get more in front of the camera and talk more.
Nice. You guys hear what he just said? And what he just said applies to every industry. You know, typically, a lot of times your work does speak for itself, and don't let off on that ever. But on top of your work speaking for itself, whatever industry you're in, you need to be speaking for yourself. You need to be your biggest advocate, biggest promoter. And that's why we've always talked about a personal brand is so important. And Memo has that, but it's more like it's been his work and stuff like that. And, I've talked to him about it before, but like he took initiative and just did it, surprised my ass. He posted something. He's sitting in the chair. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And
You've been replaced.
I'm proud of him, man. I think it's going to be good. That post did a good job, a good reaction.
Yeah, a lot of people liked it. Surprisingly, a lot more than I thought, too.
Right?
So,
well, there you go. See, and that tells you guys right there, he just did it. And, it's challenging for him because it's new, right? Like, you're asking me, like, how long did it take? Like, I told him I've been doing this shit for 10 years, So it's like 10 years is a long time to do anything, right? So
how long did it take to get comfortable in front of the camera and talking? That's what it was.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like I said, it's been 10 years for me, so it's like second nature, And you guys, as always, please, I want to remind you, please just share this podcast. When you share the episodes, when you like the podcast, when you subscribe to it, when you review it on Apple Music or iTunes or whatever you listen to it on, it helps us out because we're trying to add value here and we're trying to help you guys win. 2024, man, this year is going to be interesting, brother.
Yeah, it's flying by already.
It's going to be interesting. I've been starting to see all this shit about the election, and I see people speaking and stuff like that, and it's like, I'm interested. I'm really interested to see what happens. So the election is towards the end of this year, right?
I believe so, like November, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, I really hope. Like I said, I try, sometimes we talk about political stuff on this podcast. We don't often, I have in the past when stuff I feel like was more political a few years ago. But honestly, I really hope someone else gets in the office. I think we need help in this country, and there's a lot of things that can be fixed, So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to play out because, we know what happens around election time. So
Yep.
We'll see, man. So all I can say this, guys, and I've told you this before, at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter who is president. You dictate your own outcome every day. You dictate your future. Yes, there's things that different presidents can pass down that affect your daily life, like, certain policies and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, whoever's president's not going to cause you to win or lose, be successful or not successful. The only person that's going to create that is yourself. And you having the mindset, putting so much worry and so much emphasis that some motherfucker sitting in some office somewhere is going to dictate your life is the problem in the first place. Take more accountability of that. Have some self-realization and realize that it's you. It's not them. So today I'm going to talk about a hodgepodge of things, man. There's a few little things I want to touch base on. It's not going to be that long a podcast, but I think you guys are going to get some stuff out of it if you really listen to it. The first thing I want to touch base is on social media. Social media is such a huge tool. It's what I've used to build my personal brand. It's what I've used to build businesses. And it's crazy because I'm really struggling because, my main brand, Till You Collapse, that Instagram page, I built that over 10 years. I started with 0 followers, and I literally built a business. And when the page first started, it was my personal brand. And it was the company's Instagram. Back then, in the olden days when Instagram was first started, there wasn't all of these personal pages and brand pages. It was all like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. We were just figuring it out, right? And so if you go, I empower you, some of you guys to do this, listening to this podcast. It'll be a fun little science experiment for you, just to see my brand's evolution, my Instagram's evolution. Scroll until you collapse my main business page. Scroll way back. Like, it'll probably take you a while, but you have to, because it's like 10 years of posting. Scroll way back and look at how my Instagram used to be. When it first started, it was a mix. Like, obviously, as you build a personal brand and as you build a brand, a lot of time I've told you guys, you are the brand. Like Memo just talked about, like his work speaks for himself, but now he's going to focus on building a little more personal brand, being more visual, talking. People are going to see him more. People are going to connect with him. And the goal is to bring more eyes on him, bring more eyes on his work, and in turn, get more business. And that's what he's doing. And it's already starting to work. And the more consistent he is with that, he'll see good things nothing negative will come from it. All positive will happen from it. So, I used to post myself, selfies of me, quotes, pictures of food, like typical stuff you see on like a personal Instagram on the company's Instagram. So if you go way back, you'll see that it was my Instagram and it was a company. Like there'll be a shirt design, there'll be a plate of food, there'll be me rambling into the camera, like just a lot of random shit. So it's fun to go back and see. But my point is, especially when starting out, you are the brand. You have to live, eat, breathe, sleep, bleed the message, the mission. You have to do what you say. You have to, whatever your brand is or whatever you put out there, you need to be a representation of. And people want to know that. People want to see that nowadays more than ever. They'd rather support a company of someone they know than some faceless CEO, some big corporation. They don't know who they are. They don't know what's going on. So share all that you can. And my point is, I built this Instagram page up over 10 years. And Instagram really over the last 3 years for me has been real shitty. My pages were doing really good. I built them up. And really it's been about since around 2000. I was very vocal about the whole mask thing, the whole COVID thing, the whole vaccine thing. And it's very clear that Instagram, doesn't like anyone that thinks differently than them. They don't like anything that acts differently than them. And they obviously support that mission. And a lot of people I know, a lot of pages have been throttled. I don't know if they call it shadow ban. I don't know what the fuck they call it. But it was a combination of things, because here's another thing I did, and I've talked about it before, but obviously I grew these pages from zero and they grew pretty steadily. And you always want to grow and you always want to advance. And, around that time, obviously, I was very vocal about my thoughts on this on my personal page. Obviously, my personal page, my business page, they're linked, unfortunately. So I know Instagram for sure knows, this is this motherfucker's company. So obviously, unfortunately, when you believe in something and you speak up about something, you stand for something, regardless what it is, not just this subject, but sometimes there can be repercussions for it. So you got to think as a man or a woman or the person you are, does it mean something for you to stand up for something? Does it mean, if you feel a certain way, does it mean enough for you to speak up for it? Like, even if there may be financial repercussions, because a lot of business comes from Instagram, or used to come from Instagram, unfortunately, right? You may get financially hit, you may lose friends, but at the end of the day, there's comfort knowing that if you feel a certain way, whichever way it is, you speak on it, whatever the situation is. Because that's something I feel like nowadays is less and less. People feel a certain way, they won't speak on it because they fear the repercussions from it, right? So that's how I'm wired, and not many people are wired like that nowadays. But the unfortunate thing is, like I said, at that time, my Instagram kind of died. And then to kind of combat that, what I did, I've never bought any followers. There's a lot of people that buy followers and like they get these bots and these fake followers that don't engage, really fuck your page up. I never have done that, because to me, there's no point for that. Like, why would I buy a follower who's not real, that's not going to engage with my shit? I knew that would kill your page. Plus, that's fake as fuck, right? So what I did do, though, and I've talked about it before, but I'll talk to you guys, and I think this may be another reason why my pages even got more fucked up. My pages started to be kind of shadow banned. They kind of started to go downhill. They weren't growing. There was no engagement. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this sucks. Obviously this is repercussions, but I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not going to, hide from what I believe in. So what I did do is they basically have giveaways on Instagram where they had celebrities that, like say Floyd Mayweather was one of them. So Floyd Mayweather did a giveaway where Floyd Mayweather said, I'm giving away this Louis bag, this watch. I'm giving away this. So to all his real followers, I'm giving away these prizes. All you need to do to enter the giveaway, just like any brand giveaway, like we're doing a brand giveaway now, like on a bigger scale though, when a celebrity with millions of followers does it, right? He said like, there'd be like 50 individuals like myself, and there was other companies and other people that bought into the giveaway. And Floyd Mayweather said, go follow everyone I'm following. And he'd be following 50 people. And it was legit. Like, he's a celebrity. He was following me. He was following like these other people. He's usually about 50 people involved. And to all of his followers, he would say, go follow these people to enter the giveaway. So then you would get real people. They're not bots. They're actually real people coming at a high level following your page. And you would grow 10, 20,000 followers. And the hope was, these are real people. They're entering a giveaway. Yeah, they don't know who I am, but they know who I am now. That there's a percentage that are just coming there for the giveaway because they want to win. Then after the giveaway, obviously they start unfollowing you because they're like, I didn't know who this guy really is. I was following Floyd Mayweather, but I came in for the giveaway. But the hope is, say that's, 25% of them fall off because they were just there for the giveaway. Then the hope is, okay, I'm continuously posting my content. These people are watching my stories. They're watching my content. Like, oh, I kind of fuck with what this guy's saying. Then they turn into a new follower. And then you win them over and they're real. They're not a bot. They start to engage with your shit. So that was my hope in doing that. Of course, it was a shortcut, but here's the thing. A lot of people build their pages organically like I originally did for the first, before that period of time. But a lot of people pay for paid ads to build their social media. There's a lot of ways to do it. Obviously, organic is the most legitimate and the cheapest way to do it. If you have a lot of money, you can target audience of your following and build it that way. Some people buy just straight fake bots, which is the worst way because that's not going to do anything for your page. And then, like I said, the way I did it was kind of trying to be a creative way to get real people to come over and try to win them over and keep them there. But I think what happened was Instagram, like, they look at your page if you have a big surge of followers. I don't know if they like that. And another thing is, these guys that were doing these giveaways, they would promise us, they would say, so we're doing this giveaway, you're going to grow a minimum of 20,000 followers, like from Floyd, or like all these celebrities were doing it. A bunch of celebrities still doing it. Like Cardi B just did one. They're still trying to get people to do it. It's a business, right? Because they charge you to enter this, right? And what I think would happen was, like, say we would grow 10,000 and it would be like 10,000 less than they promised. So people would be mad. They're like, you promised us a minimum of this. And what they are doing on the back end, which I just found this out recently, which is really fucked up, which I think really fucked your page. And what I didn't want to do, which would happen without me knowing, is I would grow 10,000 legitimate people that came over to follow for the giveaway. And then they would be like, oh shit, these people are growing 10,000 short. We promised them, we need to make up the difference. And they would hire, because you can hire just free bots like for cheap from India and stuff like that. And they would hire, like, hey, grow these 50 people's page by 10,000 fake bot followers without us knowing. Obviously, that's not what we wanted to do. That's not why we entered this kind of giveaway, but they were trying to make up the difference that they promised us without us knowing. And when you have a lot of fake follower bots and follow your account, I know Instagram doesn't like that and fucks your account. So for me, it was a combination of both. I kind of tried to do that to find a way to grow kind of legitimately when my pages were dying because of how I was speaking out, and it kind of backfired twofold. So what I'm trying to get at is, my personal page and my business page are highly, highly unengaged. It can be demotivating. And here I am. You guys see I constantly post content. I kindly pump out content. And my thing I'm getting at, the whole point of this that I'm getting at is, I'm still posting. I'm still making content. Yes, it's frustrating as fuck to see, with the amount of followers, getting less engagement than I used to get with like 100,000 followers. Like, I think at this point, like when this all started to go down, I was at like 250,000 legit 0 organic followers, which is great. I mean, my engagement was high. It was popping off, you know, and then the shit hit the fan. So I had to try to fix it. And it was a combination of both. And you live and you learn. But my point is, I'm talking to you guys that are starting out at 0, or you may have 300 followers, or you may have 1,000 followers. My point is, I know sometimes you guys feel like there's no point. Why am I posting this? I'm getting 15 likes. I'm getting 20 views. And it's like demotivating. But my point is, post regardless, because we all start from somewhere. And I promise you, one of those 15 likes may be your next client. One of those 20 views may be your next client. It only takes one. You may change somebody's life because they saw a piece of your content. They may not kill themselves. They may change the direction of their life. And for me, that's everything. So for me, even with as hard as I built my brands up, as hard as I built my pages up, and to see them suffer now, I'm still trugging along as demotivated as I am, knowing that my pages are fucked and no one's seeing my shit, because there's still some people seeing my shit. I'm still inspiring. I'm still motivating. I'm still getting my message out there. I'm still changing lives. And that's the point behind it. And that's why I keep going. So I'm probably going to try to start a page from 0. I had an old page that I kind of was going to make my page, but it was built off an old legging company I had. So I decided to pivot and make it a new brand page, because it makes more sense, because the following is mainly women and they came from Till You Collapse. So it makes more sense just to make it, because I need a new page for the business and I need a new page for me personally. But I don't know how deep Instagram goes. I don't know if I start a new page with my phone, with my name or whatever, if they're like, this guy's fucking blackballed forever, because even my new pages seem now, like initially they were doing better, but now they're already even scaling down. So I don't know if I'm fucked on Instagram forever. I mean, I do have TikTok. That's always growing and popping off. I'm still always trying to grow on there. But really, I would like to get a really good engaged, because good engaged Instagram pages, they bring in a lot of business. When you have stuff that's going viral and getting hundreds of thousands of views and millions of views, not only personally, but on your business, it's a good thing. And I'm trying to get back there, because I've been there and I've been kind of struggling. So guys, just keep posting. Don't stop. This takes one person to become a client, one person to buy your product, one person for you to change their life. And as long as you have that mindset behind it, that's everything. Stop trying to, it takes time. I promise if you do that long enough, shit will pop off. Even recently, like I had a few months back, one of my videos did finally go viral. And that's the first time one of them ever viral. Got like 700,000 views, almost 800,000 views, and like a few thousand comments, and it went on the explore page. So there's still hope. Like I said,
it was probably also the one of the least edited, and also like just the most generic recording out of all of them that we've done so far.
Wasn't that funny? That was that, which
it's
one
like
it was?
the complete opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, there's still hope for my page. So if I can get more of that happen, I think that's what my page just needs. So the hope is like we can figure out what that was. And like I said, we're always testing different content. And like Memo said, it was like a random side shot of me speaking at a little event. And it was like talking about putting the cart back as always, you know what I mean? It just kind of popped off. So that's my message in that aspect. And my last message I want to leave with you today, and really a lot of you young entrepreneurs in the game need to hear this message, because it deals with something I hear about a lot, and you guys need to hear this fucking message, because it's coming from someone who's lived it on all levels. A lot of you guys are striving for balance. You keep talking about balance. Balance is all you're focused on. I'm here to tell you, there's no fucking such thing as balance. If you really want to build something and be great at something, you have to be obsessed and all in. You're going to go through a season when there's suffering and when you're going to be unbalanced in certain areas of your life. And if your mindset is always trying to chase this balance and have all this happy harmony in every area, which is great. If that's what you want, you can achieve that. But I'm telling you, coming from someone who struggles with this all the time between business and fitness and family, really the three things I focus on, I tell you, when you're in the trenches and when you're trying to build something great, when you're trying to build a company, when you're trying to build your body, when you're trying to build solid connections with your family and your kids, balance changes in seasons. And anytime you focus on one thing, something else is going to suffer. So if you focus on your business the most, typically your fitness and your relationships, whether they're friends, whether they're family, those are going to suffer. If you focus just on your family and you're the guy who works 9 to 5, or you're the guy who works 10 to 3, and you solely on your family, your business is going to suffer. Your fitness is going to suffer. And yes, the goal is to find a balance that works for you, because balance is different for everybody. We all have different definitions. We all have different thoughts in our head of what a happy balance for us to be happiest mentally equals out to be. And that's great. But I'm here to tell you the real fucking message behind it and the real deal behind it. You're going to live a normal, average life in all those areas, a comfortable life in all those areas, if you're always striving for balance. So if you really want to become great in any area, there's going to become a season, whether it's 6 months, whether it's a year, whatever the fuck it is, that you are all in, obsessed, working bell to bell, giving it your all. And yeah, like when I was first building the company, my relationship suffered. My fitness even suffered. Like I became out of shape when I first, that's the reality. And, I would never let it get to that point again, because now I know how important my fitness is for me mentally, physically and mentally. And that turns around to be successful business-wise. But I'm telling you, there's going to be times when you're going to have to go all in. And whatever you go all in it, it's going to really pay off. And it's going to take time. It may take a few years, but I'm telling you, with this thought process of you trying to balance everything out perfectly and then attacking life, yes, that's the best case scenario because you feel round and whole. But I promise you, it's not going to allow you to get any of those areas are not going to excel and be exceptional, if that makes sense. And I'm talking from experience. And now, I totally different with my kids and my family. I used to try to have more quantity of time. But now my time with them is much more quality, much more present, much more direct and focused. And my kids respond to it crazily. Whereas before, I was kind of half in on my phone, half doing business, but I would spend 2-3 hours with them. Now it's more 30 minutes to an hour, and I have 4 of them. So I try to split it up through all of them, and it's directly with each one. But they notice it. I notice it. They notice the difference. So, guys, you're going to have to, and here's the thing, you can afford to find more of a balance once you get to a certain level. A lot of you guys are trying to find balance right from the get-go, and you haven't fucking earned the balance. Like, you got to earn that shit. Like, pay your dues and build something great in some different areas. And once you get to a certain place, then yes, you have more of a luxury. If you build a company from 0 to $5 million and you have people you're delegating stuff to and people handling jobs you used to handle in the trenches to get there, then you have more time to have a little more balance with maybe your fitness or maybe your relationships. But trying to do that from the get is going to hinder your progress in any area. So that's all I wanted to tell you guys. Anyways, I just had a client walk in. I wanted this to be a short one. Memo, you got any thoughts?
Nope. Just keep doing you guys. New year, time to do more.
And I got this to say, new year, same you. I don't want to hear this new me, new year, new me shit, because here's the thing. You need to become a person that you have such a foundation of your qualities and your values and what you do on a basis that, like, new year, same me, as far as at the core. You can change things up as far as like what you're doing, what your goals are, what you're focused on. But if your goal should be become a person, and we're all trying to evolve and change. And I get that. Myself still, after 10 years of self-improvement and at 41 years old, I'm still trying to evolve and change. But me at the core, I'm not going to change. Like, it's still the same me. Aspects of myself change. But you guys got to really figure out the core of who you are and stick with those core and then build on top of that, if that makes sense. Anyways, love you guys. Hope you like this episode. We're out.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do.